Welcome, I'm Bea. My channel is about mixed media, art, journaling and more.
Yes, okay, thank you, Rhonda. That was the thing I needed to know. Okay, today we're gonna make bookmark with Makin's clay. I just wanted to show you quick my face before I turn the phone to go down to the table. Okay, turn you down. So that's what we're gonna make. Those are bookmarks with, I have like 5 different types. Bookmarks with Makin's clay, which is a non-bake polymer clay, and napkins. So that was actually this napkin, and this was this napkin. Additionally, we're gonna use embossing folders at the end. Which is optional. This is just napkins and Makin's clay. This is with embossing folder and waxes. I first gonna start with Makin's clay, making the base for. That's what it looks when we are a step further. Making me a little bit of room. So hi Tina, hi Francine. So I recommend using either white or natural. If you take a dark color, you won't see the patterns. So as I said, it's a non-bake polymer clay. I'm simply gonna cut with my scissors. And this clay doesn't need any condition in difference to the other clays. But what you have to do, every part you don't use, put in a bag with some wet towels. And from time to time I even spray some water in, so to keep it moister. Because it's an air dry clay, once it is dry, it is dry. So we don't want to leave it too much at the air, not more than necessary. So as I said, I don't need to do any conditioning with this. And simply gonna run it. Can you see my, yeah, you can see my pasta machine. I start with the one, and I'm simply gonna roll it through. My goal is to get a piece approximately the size of my napkins. I did prepare everything except the napkins. Okay, let's use this one. About this, this size, quarter of a napkin. So I'm gonna first one this way, then I go one step more, then to the setting number 3, and then to the setting number 4. That was one too much. That's number 4, yep. So I have my piece here, and it is about, if you don't have the Makin's clay, I mean every machine has other settings, it's about, I would say 2 millimeters. I mean you can go thinner or thicker if you want. And now, where did I put my napkins? Hold on a second. So I want to use slightly different this time. So as you all know, the napkins come with 3 layers, 2 to 3 layers depending on the napkins. And we need only the top layer. You don't have a pasta machine, Rhonda? You can try it with the roller, with something like that. The thing is, hello Roberta, The thing is, I want like an even thickness, which is much harder, but just for it is very pliable, it's easy to handle, so you can start with the roller. But if you work a lot with clays, any clays, whether the air dry clay or the normal clay, you're gonna go look for a pasta machine. Yes, and not as smooth. Yes, you're right. So you're gonna get rid of those 2 layers, and using a little bit glue from a stick glue on my index finger and on my thumb, and grabbing at the edge, at the corner, and we only want this layer. We don't need that for this project. But I keep those white layers. Some of you may know that I use them. So we need 2 pieces. We're gonna put it on the back and on the front. So I'm gonna cut it in 4 pieces. And cut it again. So, making me a little room again, so that the napkins really are well attached, because the Makin's clay sticks very well on paper. So napkin is paper, but I need to make sure that it is somewhat damp. So I spray a little bit on top, then I place my napkin, and then I spray again a little bit of water, making sure that this is really damp all over. Not too much, but certainly enough. And then I just dab it to make sure that it is in. Like here I have the feeling, yeah, see, I can lift it. You can kind of feel it, so adding a little bit more water. Now it's down. Then I grab it at the corner, turn it around. It's a really simple process. So, but I think it's fun. We all have those napkins, don't we? Hi Gemma, I hope I pronounce it right. Roberta, yeah, you mean what about the glue with the fingers? I did find it years ago somewhere on YouTube. It's not my invention, but ever since then I use it. And I use a lot of napkins for all kind of projects. Again, I'm dabbing a bit. Which idea you're talking about, Tina? The napkin bookmarks? Or so if I try to roll it a little bit like this, I can feel whether it's really sticking. I have the feeling it's a little bit dry here. So now comes the most difficult part. We have to let it dry. What I do, it is an air dry clay, an air tray. Wow, I'm tired. An air dry clay. So if you leave that overnight, it's going to be dry. But you probably know me by now. I'm always in a hurry. So I put it into the oven in a normal baking oven, like the polymer clay, the other, but only at 80 Celsius, which is approximately 120 Fahrenheit. Don't hold me on that. I'm gonna give you the right numbers later on in the comments. I forgot to check that. I'm Celsius, you know, guys. I'm living in Switzerland means Celsius. So I'm gonna do the same again with the, not with this napkin, that doesn't work. So I'm gonna look for another napkin. Because as I said, we need 2 parts. Just with this I can't do anything. So I'm gonna put that in my oven and maybe it is dry until to the end. So for a piece like this, you need half of the package, like 160. It's a 120 grams, I think. So you need about 60 grams. It's 120 grams. So it's the half of a package gives you like this piece. I'm gonna do another one again. I'm grabbing the other half. And it's really simple. So going first through the number 1 without conditioning, not needed with Makin's clay. Don't do that with the other polymer clay. You need to condition other polymer clay. And then I'm gonna go, okay, I have to work on that a little bit more. And in the end I just want a square piece. Something like that. And you always can pull it to the right form you want and then fold it over again, going to number 1 again. Here we are, that's much better. Going to the 2. Going to the 3. And I should have turned it. Okay. Okay, let's turn it now. And the last one, number 4. It looks like I haven't cut my piece into equal pieces. That seems to be much more. Oh well. Again, using some glue. Rhonda, Swiss company. Does she live in Switzerland? Tina, oven baked clay. I don't think it works with oven baked clay the same way, because I don't think it adheres as well. I haven't tried it, I must say. Go, make a little test and tell me if it works or not. Oh no, she lives in Austin, Texas, Rhonda. Okay. I did have a scissor before. Yes, it's still here. So this time for some gold. So you can make all kind of variation of bookmarks, and I have a show on the 6th of March, 6th, 7th, 8th, something like that, and I think I'm gonna take them with me because it is a low price item. It's not easy sometimes to sell on first hand the higher priced stuff, so keep your fingers crossed for me. She came to Switzerland when she first got hired. I guess she didn't have as much snow as we have now. But you guys over there have snow too, I guess. I heard. Yeah, I have heard from this company, but I don't know where they are located in Switzerland. I'm living in the German part, about an hour from Zurich, which is not the capital, but I think one of the biggest. Geneva is pretty big too. Again, the same thing, spraying my clay a little bit and then going over again and making sure it's really down. Not too much in Houston, Texas. Whenever you are over, And whenever you're going to visit, you're going to call me. I love to show my studio to other people. It's expensive though, Switzerland. Not too much snow in Houston. Yes, I did get that. I think you're glad about that. So, and doing the back side again. And spreading the water a bit, and I did have another piece. And now, do I put it the same way? I think so. Hi Debbie. So, I think that's well attached, and now I'm gonna cut off the leftovers I don't use, I don't need for the bookmarks, and put that in the backpack. I can use it for another project, and I usually put it back in the original sealed. It comes in a sealed bag, and I cut that open and used it again, and then put it into my baggie with the moist towels. Can you see it? See what I have? That's the towels, and then it's a Ziploc bag, and I make sure that the clay doesn't dry out. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside to dry again, and then I will back. So I'm gonna put up some things for you to look at. Oh, you are already tired. Okay, I see. Just wanted quick to show you. I put them on tiles, which I use for all kind of polymer clay. So I put them on tiles before I put them in the oven. Okay, that's what we have so far. And I did prepare a piece just to show you how I go on. And I make me a little bit of room, because I don't need the pasta machine for the moment. So now we have this piece, and what I really like about those, they are very flexible. So the whole Makin's clay is very flexible once it dries. We need to make so they are about, well, 1 1/4 inch or like 3 centimeters. So we need straight edges. That's the first we're going to do now, and to make sure I want to maximize, so I try to be as neat as possible. And I use a simply box cutter. You could also use like an X-Acto knife, or you could even use the scissor. It's as long as it's something sharp. And it's really easy, not a lot of pressure. You really can use the scissor, just to show you. It's really easy to cut. And I make another straight edge. I like this cutting mats. It's those self-healing, so you can easily cut them then without ruining your table. Okay, so and then I also gonna, no, I don't gonna cut here. So I'm starting with cutting 3 centimeters, and because I have the grate, I can simply align and cut the line. Sorry, my voice is Again, going down. Do you use a toaster oven for baking or your kitchen? No, I use a toaster oven. I have a toaster oven in my studio, which my hubby did bring me once from his company where he worked, because they did throw it out. So I was lucky. The kitchen is, I have my studio downstairs, so it's much, and also I teach here in my studio, so that wouldn't be really handy. I used to teach polymer clay at one point, but so it would be not so handy if everybody had to go upstairs to the kitchen. So I have a toaster oven, a rather large one, which is nice. Can I make one of this, a smaller one? I'll leave it for the moment. No. So. By the way, I really wouldn't recommend using the kitchen oven or for the baking polymer clay. If you have to use a sort of a container where you can bake in. I'm just careful about those things. Oh, thank you. I always add you info to advertise and pass them out. Okay. Yeah, I love bookmarks too. I used to be an avid reader. I hope to come back into it again. Just life was sometimes a little bit too busy for me. But I remember when I was young, and I'm still attracted to bookmarks. When I'm somewhere and see a nice bookmark, I buy them. I'm not sure what for, but hey, I need to spend my money somehow. Okay, what's really neat about Makin's clay, you can even use your corner punch, and that's nothing fancy. It's a cheap one, not a really high quality or something. And you simply can use your corner rounder to give them a nice edge. So that's what I'm going to do to all of those. I think it makes such a difference, some rounded corners. It just looks more finished. Hallo Susan! Bist auch noch auf? Sorry guys, I did switch to Swiss German because a friend of mine is watching too. Using clay on a sheet of aluminium. Yeah, you certainly can put it on aluminium foil, but the thing I was talking about is you have to protect the, if you use the bakeable polymer clay, you have to protect you from the fumes, because the softener is going to be burned out. That's the point. That's what I wanted to explain. Okay, I don't need that no longer. And so, making a little bit room. So our next step gonna be, we're gonna emboss some patterns. And for that I need the big shot. Hold on a second. Here we are. Okay. Now, for those who do emboss, a little bit forewarning, you can't use the suggestions from the Big Shot or from whatever brand you have. You have to figure out which works for you, because it's thicker than a paper. So I did experiment a little bit, and I did really smash some of them. So I should have kept them to show you. So I figured out in the end I go all the tabs closed, and I use only the standard embossing folders. There are those 3D folders which are deeper than normal folders. I use only the standard folders, and just one plate. And that's about, for those setting number 4, that's about the right size. I do have here one from Cuddlebuck. Let's use this one. And I don't go all up to the top of the bookmark. So I just put it in like that, and then roll it through my machine. Okay, I need to drop those off. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but it's gonna be a replay, so you can watch whatever. Bye, Tina. Where did I put this on? But I really like this one, and I actually think I'm gonna do 2 at once. This has a sort of a damask pattern. And where's my other plate? Here it is. Here we go. You probably can't see it in the camera so much at the moment, but we're gonna work on that, so don't worry. Through again. I think we are done with that for the moment. So now we want obviously see our patterns. So that's why I did grab some waxes. This is Pentart. I think Bo Bunny in America carry their product. It's a Hungarian company, and I think they have really nice waxes. So gold or copper or blue certainly not, but maybe gold. You just apply it a little bit on your finger. And then the pattern gets visible. And I do it on the other side too. And if you have a little bit too much, which sometimes can happen, you can try to clean off with a wet wipe. Want more of the black back. Yeah. Let's try the copper. And on the other side. try the blue, just see what happens. Not sure if it really works. I do clean sometimes in between the fingers so that I have the real blue. Let's see. No, that's what I thought. It does. It's too dark. It's too dark already. Okay, it's a dark blue, so I go back to the gold. That gives me the pattern. Yes, I can do that, of course, sorry. You should have shouted at me. Can you see it now? And I'm gonna turn it around. There is obviously a debossed and an embossed side, so the pattern looks quite different. So I was here. We are not done yet. Okay. So I think that's it. Oh no, there's another one here. I totally missed that. I hurry. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna punch the holes. I give the wax a little bit of time to set, and then I try to polish it a little bit. With all the waxes, you have to polish them a bit. It just helps them to stand out more. Thank you, Rhonda. Okay, cleaning my finger a bit. Now we need to make holes, and I use a simply paper hole punch, nothing fancy. Again, it's so easy to cut, and making holes, it's really not hard at all. I try to eyeball it. I'm usually eyeball it because I want to add some ribbons and yarn, just to fancy it up a bit. I mean, you can measure and mark it if you like, but I'm just not that way. Okay, that is now really cricket. So now I really want to polish that a bit, to give it a little bit more shine, and to make sure that it doesn't rub off during the normal use. See what comes up? So if you polish it a bit, it gets even more shine. So I'm gonna show you it like it is now, and then I'm gonna polish it. Do you think you could get a similar look using a nice chipboard instead of? Sure, definitely. That's actually the where I did steal the idea. I did see some chipboard bookmarks. You probably have to paint it somehow with a little bit of acrylic paint, and then run it through the the napkin. The napkin part is yeah. You could use Mod Podge or something like that to. So I have polished this part, but I haven't polished this part. That's much more gold. So it really makes a difference. if you polish them again. But back to your chipboard, I would use, do you follow me on YouTube? I use a lot of napkins. You could either use a spray adhesive to add your napkins to the chipboard and then go over with Mod Podge or a matte medium, or I wouldn't use a gloss medium because a gloss medium tends to be sticky. So if you add the gloss medium and you add your bookmark into the pages, there is a risk that it may stick. So I would use some matte Mod Podge or matte medium to attach the napkins. Okay, let's polish. And then when you have attached your napkins, you could emboss it and then add the wax. Just make sure that the chipboard is white. I would Mod Podge matte, yeah, early to the matte. Just make sure that the chipboard is white. Otherwise the pattern from the napkins get too much obscured. Even when I use napkins, I make sure that I have a white background. I did lately one of the weekly backgrounds. Hold on a second. Where are they? Which one is it? Not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one. I did lately I don't remember. I hope it's already up. I think so, yeah, it's already up. It's all napkins, but because it is a manila folder which is yellow, I had to make sure that it is white, otherwise you wouldn't have seen the napkins. If it is a dark underground, it just obscures the pattern of they get lost. Okay, now let's go on to the copper. Hope that helps. Oh, you're already back, Tina, so it wasn't far, I guess. So at the moment I'm polishing to get more of the sheen of the metallic waxes. So that's what it looks like now, and I'm gonna polish just half of it. Also, I don't have a lot of here. Yeah, it doesn't show up here so much. And really do polish them so you get rid of the surplus, because you add more than it's actually needed. Polish, polish, polish. Okay. No, not at all. Okay, got it. So, now I want to chase them up a bit. They are already done. And maybe, if you hear a cling, that's my oven. It has a timer when it is ready. So I did prepare some yarns. Probably not enough, but just to get the idea. That's wrong. So I mean, you probably all know how to add tassels to your tags and bookmarks and whatnot. That's a yarn still from my time when I was a hand weaver a long time ago. And I simply use the pencil to pull them through. Nothing really complicated. just adds the final touch. And you know what? I did the holes on some of them on the wrong side. Okay, talking and oh well, I leave it that way. It's another variation, call it like that. I did it intentionally. Do you believe me? I make journal. Of course, they would be nice to add to journals. I love journals. Yeah, and there are so many nice napkins out there. I mean, and you could use then the napkins also for your journal, so that it would match. Okay. Do I want some pink with it? No, I don't like it. Not with this. Thank you, Gemma. If you're gonna make some of them, can you post them in my group, you know, about my Facebook group, Bears Mixed Media and More? If you're not already a member, consider joining it. Just make sure that you answer the 3 questions. I just don't want trolls. I don't need them. Hello, Susan. How are you? I have to grab more ribbons. I run out of ribbons. So, we are nearly at the end, ladies. I mean, nobody needs troll, yes, you're right. Go to, where are you based? Are you in the US or in Europe? If you're in the US, go to Makin's Clay US. And if you're in Europe, send me a message. I'm even not sure if I pronounced the name correct, but some Jove or something like that carries Makin's Clay in Europe. So if you have a hard time finding Makin's Clay, just let me know. You probably all know that I'm a design member for the Makin's Clay. It's the only design team I kept. All the others I have kicked out. Too much work. But I really enjoy Makin's Clay, and they're really nice people. USA, yeah, it's Amazon is sometimes a little bit tricky, but Makin's Clay US will give you the right people where you can order. I know there is Clay Factory, they carry Makin's Clay, but there may be other places too. Hello Brigitte Richli, how are you? We got. So yeah, if you have problems finding Makin's Clay, let me know, send me a PM, I'm absolutely able to help you. So let's see. I think the others are still not dry. Gonna check, hold on, they're still in the oven. That's fresh from the oven, it's still warm. Not too much, but that's really, it takes about half an hour to dry it in the oven if you're in a hurry. So that's another one. That's it so far. If are there any questions, or are we fine? Are you all going now making bookmarks? All kind of bookmarks? Hope to see you soon. Bye.